everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft How to Build. Now today, I'm pretty excited because I decided that we're going to go ahead and finish filling out this little sort of a peninsula over here of area, at least it is before you get to the woods beyond there. But so in order to complete this little section of land, we have to go ahead and build right back there behind me where you can see the little bit of trees and the road. I already cleared it all out, so we've got enough space to work and we can get right to building. So now the plan for today is we are going to go ahead and build a watermill. And at first I was thinking, with this huge wheat field, we should probably build like a windmill or something. But as I kept thinking about it, I realized that, well, first off, this village is in a forest, and so it probably wouldn't be getting a lot of wind in the first place. And plus, it's right along a river, so that gave me the perfect idea to do a watermill. And on top of that, windmills are a little overdone in Minecraft, so I thought this would be a fun change of pace. Now, for this here, we're going to go ahead and start with building the wheel frame. And let's actually go ahead and make that out of spruce because we want the wheel itself to be dark oak. So now coming right down here into the center. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's give this a try. Let's try going one lower. Okay, we'll give that a try. And what this will be doing by going a little bit lower than I originally planned is it will put more of the wheel into the water. So I think that should help give it that watermill look. Now we'll go ahead and drop down to here and just keep finishing this frame. As you can see, it's 3 across with 1 in the corners. So a pretty traditional circle in Minecraft. And you know what? I went one too far. I was wondering about that. Okay, so let's do it like so. Okay. Now this is our wheel frame. This won't be staying. It's pretty much just to help us lay out the blocks. So now we're going to go ahead and take some dark oak stairs. And then, yeah, that should be good. I don't think we'll need any slabs, just the stairs. So now let's go ahead and lay down the stairs right in here with the back facing, it can be either way, but in this case, I'm going to have it facing kind of counterclockwise. Okay, so we've got that. And then we're going to go ahead and follow that design and keep the back of the stairs pointing towards the next corner. That's the best way that I can describe it. Alright, and then like so. So now, you can't really tell with the bottom one, but they've all kind of got this little bit of an backwards F design. So you've kind of got like a little bit of an F there, and then it's got one more stair down below it. So you could almost think of it as an E with an extra little tail down there. It's a combination between an E and an F. So now we're going to go ahead and get rid of this spruce frame because we want our wheel to be all dark oak. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to add more stairs, but into the corner of this. So basically you want these little stairs to be pointing in towards the center of the wheel. And that will kind of just give the circle itself a little bit of a corner. So we'll just go around and add those real quick here. There we go. And now we're going to do the same thing on the inside, but instead these little corner pieces are going to be inverted. So the little V point section is going to be pointing up towards the corners. So a little bit something like that. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but this is the best I can think of to do it. Okay, so we've got this little shape coming along for our wheel. And now, in order to make this a little bit easier to see, I'm going to go ahead and start building up this wall here. We're going to be making the walls out of stone and this dead coral. Both this dead bubble coral and the dead tube coral. But so I just wanted to do that little bit so that we could stick in our little post here. Oh gosh, I guess it would be called a beam? I'm not really sure. But this sort of just marks where the center of the build is. And now taking some dark oak trapdoors, we are going to go ahead and apply these into the center of all of the inner stairs. So if I can get to a good angle, there we go. Now we'll do the same thing over here and the same thing down here. So that sort of just closes it off and it makes it so that there are these little squares all the way around. And now we're going to be adding a few more of these dark oak trapdoors. We're going to be adding them onto the sides of these little 3 pieces. And I found that this works really well with spruce, but for today's build I did want to use dark oak so that way it blended in a little bit less with the frame we're going to be using. Okay, so there we have our little wheel, and I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it sitting that far into the water, but I mean the idea would be that way if the river ever got kind of low, then it would be able to still pick up that water, hopefully. But this is all more applying realistic logic to it, and it's not Minecraft necessary. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and build this up one more high, and I think that would work out pretty well. Now, coming back around here, we are going to go ahead and we're going to build up the frame. So now we're actually going to continue to use these oak logs, since that's what we've got right here in the center. And then I think right about here will be a good point to do it. Okay, so I want to go up to about there, which is going to be, 7 blocks high? And then we'll take this out horizontally. And on this last one, I think that's even, right? 2 and 2. Yep. So on this last little area here, we're going to go ahead and build up the rest of that frame. Now, I think I want to do this a little bit differently than what I'd originally planned. So instead, we're going to go ahead and build this up pretty much an identical post right on the diagonal corner of this. And then we'll go ahead and bring this out to here. Oh, let's see, I don't even know, maybe something like right out to here. We probably didn't need to break that. And then let's go out one more, I think, and we'll bring it out to here. Okay. Then we'll add in that last frame. Okay. So a little bit something like that, I think, will make for a nice base. And now we're going to go ahead and start laying down the cobblestone and the dead tube block. And why not? Let's just grab the other coral as well. That way we can lay that throughout here as we go. And it looks like I did miscalculate this slightly, so I gotta dig out a little bit more on the sides. But that's not too bad. Oh, actually, no. Well, we'll leave this side for now, and we'll come back to that. Now, the reason that I'm laying down more dead tube coral instead of cobblestone first is because I really like the warmer color that this has, and if you compare it to cobblestone, let's put it back more. They have almost the exact same texture, just the dead tube coral has a little bit of a dot in the center of the stones. And so the reason I'm using more of this than cobblestone is because we're contrasting it with these dead brain coral, I think. No, dead bubble coral. And so it kind of has more of a warmer look to it when we speckle in that texture. Now we're going to be adding some cobblestone as well, but pretty much it will have a cooler tone and there will be a little bit less of it. So let's go ahead and just finish laying down the tube coral, and then we'll go ahead and do the texturing. Alright, we'll build it up those 6 blocks right up to the horizontal beam. Okay. And now, yeah, okay, so that's what we wanted. Just right along here. And we'll go ahead and grab a grass block so that we can fill that in, the little hole that we made. Since that area that's grass is going to be visible in front of the watermill, we want to make sure that's filled in. Alright, so we're just building this right up here. And so from some of the designs that I saw, I checked out a few different watermill photos in order to get some inspiration for this build. And in a lot of them, I saw that the wheels had little aqueducts sort of running over them to kind of let out water down the side and spin it. But my logic behind this build is it's built on a river, so ideally it would be flowing that way and the current would be strong enough to spin the water wheel essentially. And so because of that, we didn't really need an aqueduct to pour out from it. Plus, we didn't have any water coming from up there anyways, so this just worked out a little bit better, this design that we're doing here. And pretty much when the river turns this wheel, it's going to be turning something on the inside here, which actually reminds me, let's go ahead and add that oak spot. I think it's right here. Yep. Okay. So now, this is a little low to the ground, so I think I want to do something like that. And so the idea is that whenever those wheel out there is spun, this will also spin. And then we're going to have a little bit of an area down here for, oh, I'm not even sure how to explain it. Pretty much it's like a little bit of a stone pounder that will pound the wheat into flour? Because I think that's how it works. I don't know. You don't have to get all technical on the inside here if you don't want to. This is more just sort of a way for me to kind of add extra detail on the inside. And if you want people to be running around on the inside of your building, you might want to add it so that it's not a big empty basement. But so we'll go ahead and leave it like that for now, and we'll just dig out this little area so that we're prepared for a little later on. Now, coming back up here, oh, before we move on, we do have to finish that texturing. So let's throw in just a few more random blocks here. Okay. And now it's kind of hard to see the difference between the two, but it is there. It's subtle. And now we'll go ahead and throw in just a few pieces of cobblestone here as well. Okay, so by adding those few extra blocks, we've gone ahead and given it a little bit extra texture around the sides. And if you come down here, you can sort of see it. So that looks a little bit better. It's not all cobblestone, and it's kind of broken up. Now coming up to here, we're going to go ahead and add some full oak planks around the top rim, where the stone sort of meets the beams. So we'll do it just like that. And then let's go ahead and pull down some half slabs to use. And then we'll just go ahead and fill this all right up. And then we'll clear up the weather as well. Okay, and now coming right in here, we're going to go ahead and get rid of these 3 center frames, and we are going to go ahead and build up, oh, that's not the right log. We're going to go ahead and build up some extra pillar beams here, or columns, whatever you want to call them. And so it'll look just like that. And now taking some oak stairs, we're going to go ahead and lay down some steps. And we're going to do the same thing that we did on the How to Build a Farm Part 3 build. So we're just going to go ahead and lay out some oak logs facing up that sort of border these stairs. Okay, now moving into here, we're going to go ahead and bring up these pillars. Oh, let's do about 4 here, our regular build size. And we'll bring these all the way across, like so. And you're just going to repeat this on all 3 sides. Okay, so now that you've got that, it should be looking a little bit something like this if you're following along in your own world. And for this one, I think we'll go ahead and... oh, I'm torn. Let's go ahead and add those spruce fences along the sides of here. And we'll do this first, and then we'll go back up to the front and decide how we want to do that. So now for up here, we've got a couple of different options. We could either go ahead and just build the railing out to there and call it good. We could even add in the railing right down here, which I think we'll keep that. And then another thing we can do is we could also add up the oak logs one higher to give it a little bit of a corner, or we could even build them up all the way. So as you can see, we've got quite a few options. I think for today's video, we'll go ahead and just do that. Well, no, I think I like the gradual incline of those logs, so I think we'll keep it as spruce fences. There we go. And now coming back into here, we're going to go ahead and add some more frame. And these are going to have one section around them, but we're going to build them up just like this. There we go. And I think that should be big enough. Let's take a look down here and see what we're working with. Okay. Yep, so that should be good. Pretty much this area is empty right through there. And so I'll get into that detail later. Just for now, we'll finish building up this inner frame. Okay, and so it might look a little weird right now, but I promise I know what I'm doing here, guys. I've got a solid idea, and this should turn out pretty good. Alright, we'll go ahead and set that time back today. And now the next part that we have to work on is actually... Oh, before we get to the roof, which is the next part we were going to work on, I want to go ahead and add some spruce stairs down here on the side as supporting beams in order to hold up the frame a little bit better, since right now it's kind of just a big plain stone looking wall. So that makes it look like that, which is pretty good. Oh, and you know what? Let's go ahead and throw in some fences right down here as well that sort of go down to that turning point. Okay, so a little bit something like that. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing on these sides, although since we don't have as much room to work with, oh, you know what? These are actually a little bit smaller than my original design, so I think we'll leave it off of those. Or maybe let's just throw these stairs up here in the corner. Yeah, that should be good. Alright, so just like that, now we've got our supporting beams, and we'll head up here to the roof. I was gonna say we'll start on the roof, I know, again, but I actually realized we need to build up the inner wall for this little section. So grabbing our dead tube coral blocks again, we'll go ahead and lay this down like so, and we'll bring it all the way across for here. And we'll just build this up to that top block. We'll leave the top row empty, and then let's go ahead and build up the doorway along with this outside section. Okay, and then we'll build up this as well. And maybe just do something like that. Now, since this isn't really a house, I want to do part fence windows, and I also want to do part glass. You know, this might be a little bit big and extravagant for Mill, since we don't really need to look out anywhere, so we'll just leave the windows up top. Okay, so we'll put, oh, actually we want to do glass for these ones. We want to do fences on the side, and then we want to do the glass on the longer sides. Okay, so a little bit something like that is what we've got going on here. And then we'll grab a spruce door as well. And we'll come right into here and do that. And we'll go ahead and do a little bit of texturing as well. Oop. There we go, a little something like that. Nope, no, we already got one there, so I think maybe just right there should be good. And then we'll throw in a few of these other coral blocks as well. Okay, I think something like that should be good. We've got all three textures. Oh, you know what? We need one over here. Let's do that. Okay, now we can go ahead and build up that roof. So we're going to be using dark oak for this because we want it to match the water wheel. And we'll use both regular planks and half slabs for this. And then we'll want stairs as well because this is going to be a slightly more complicated roof. I want to play around with it a bit, so you guys will see what I'm talking about here in just a moment. Now we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll go ahead and build it up here in the corner. Then something like this, I think. Okay, so pretty much we want all these corners to have this little dip. And so from up above, it kind of starts as one point, and then it becomes a triangle. And then we border the sides and finish it off with that M. So as long as you're following that M shape, you should have it. Alright, so coming down into here, let's see, we've got the point. And then we've got the single. And then we've got the sides. And then the M. Okay, and we'll bring these half slabs down to here as well to keep that a gradual incline. And before we go across through there, I want to go ahead and connect up these two roof points. So now I think the way that we're going to do this is I actually want to go ahead and add stairs on top of this section of the M. I don't really know how to describe that, but maybe the inner section of the M? I'm not too sure. Then we'll go ahead and apply some upside down stairs to connect them officially. And from there, we will go ahead and, oh, you know what? Let's actually get rid of that middle one. And then we'll go ahead and lay this down across. Alright, so something just like that is what we've got going. It's kind of a different design, but you know, I think it works fairly well for this. And now we'll go ahead and bring these all the way across. It might be easier to go ahead and fill in the other two corners like we did before, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do this for now. And then we'll match this all up. Oh, actually, no, let's leave that for now, and we'll go ahead and throw in the corners. I want to make sure that I don't mess anything up here. Alright, so we got our little square. It's a point, triangular shape with a single space down there. And then we do these sides. And we do the M. Hey, I think I'm getting the hang of this build. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Alright, we'll put that down there. Okay, and so now that we've got our corners, we'll go ahead and add the dark oak stairs. There we go, and we'll add it to the inside there, along with the outside underneath. And that pretty much will just give it a little bit of depth when we look in here. And I actually have an idea for across, not this side, but for the beams over here. And so now following this is where it gets a little bit trickier. We'll go ahead and I want to say it goes a little bit something like this would look good. And we'll bring it out to here. And then just half slabs. Okay, and we'll lay down those upside down stairs as well. Whoops, there we go. Okay, so then something else that we can do is we can go ahead and lay in those half slabs to keep it all the same thickness. And we'll go ahead and repeat this on the other side. Okay, so just like that, now we've got our little roof going, and we'll come back into here, and you know, before we do that, let's go ahead and add some lanterns around the place in order to light it up a little bit better, because it's getting a little dark in there. We'll hang them down from the inner, kind of next to the posts on the long sides. So right over there should give us well-rounded light all around. And now coming back into here, let's go ahead and go all the way inside. And for this one, I think we'll add a torch right about there. And then we want to go ahead and finish building up the stone to meet the roof. So it looks like all around the stone goes up one above the support beam, and then on the ends it goes up one more. Okay, so just like that. And then we'll throw in a few more of these other bubble corals to make sure that it stays textured all the way around. And we'll grab that cobblestone as well. Even though we won't be using a lot of it, it does bring a little bit of uniqueness to the texture. Oh, maybe not right there, actually. Okay. Oh, not right there. Right there should be good. And we'll do one right there. Okay. So that'll finish the structure build for there. And then this is completely optional. This is a detail that I found that I kind of liked. So I'm going to lay down some oak trapdoors along this beam. And then we're also going to do it right through here as well. Okay, so then flipping them up, I'll show you guys how it looks. It sort of just gives it this pushed back texture to it that's almost, I don't even know how to whoops, looks like we had an extra in there. I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like almost like a little bit of a lattice. And so I kind of like it because it sort of breaks it up a little bit more. But if you don't like it, it's completely optional. You don't have to add it. For this case, I'm going to go ahead and do it on both sides. And you know what? Looks like we forgot the inner stairs on this one. There we go. Okay, and then we'll just add this across. Alright, so that gives it a little bit more depth to the build, a little bit more design. And now if you aren't planning on doing anything on the inside, if you just want it to look like that, it looks great. It really does. But you can also go ahead and at this point in time add some details down below if you want to. And I think we will go ahead and do just a little bit of detail so that way you guys can get some inspiration if you do want to detail the inside lower area for yourself. Now, I haven't played around with this too much, so I'm not entirely sure how we're going to want to do it. But I think some sand could look kind of good. And then let's go ahead and grab some sandstone as well in order to kind of texture it. And we'll just throw this all down into here because this sand kind of has a nice little grain texture to it. And then we'll go ahead and just like we've been doing with the walls, randomly throw down some sandstone in here. And that kind of adds a very subtle difference to the coloring. Now, if you have some kind of texture, it might not look as good, or texture pack, I mean. But yeah, so that's that. And you know, if you are building with ground out here, you could even push back this wall a little bit. It would probably make things a little bit easier if you did. Now, for this section, I want one side, I think we'll make it this side, to kind of I don't even really know how to describe it. Basically, I'll just show you guys what I'm thinking here. So since this build itself is too small to hold, stairs, we're just going to be doing a ladder. And now since we are pretty much trying to transport grain down here, we want it to have an easier way of getting down here rather than carrying it while climbing down a ladder. So we've got this little pulley system kind of going here now. And I think if we do a little bit something like this, it will add to that. And then we can just we'll drop down here and come back around here. And we'll do something like that. That way, pretty much they can, with it being a pulley system, when this one goes up, that one would go down. That's sort of what I'm thinking anyways. And now for over here, we'll go ahead and add some space to build up a ladder. And you could really do whatever you wanted to back behind here. But in this case, I think we'll go ahead and do an oak log, and then maybe we'll strip it. I don't have an axe on me because I don't use a lot of stripped wood. Alright, so if we do something like that, I think that should look pretty decent. Yeah, the only problem with this is it is such a small build that we're gonna be putting a little bit of a trim around here so that way the grain doesn't spill out. So pretty much you'd be landing right on top of it, which isn't ideal. But, you know, if you're working with a larger size for this building, it could work out a little bit better. Now we're going to go ahead and... Oh, I swear I just saw it. I must have gotten rid of it. We'll grab some stairs, and we want this to be just regular stone in order to match our base down here that we're using, since we haven't switched out the floor type. Okay, so we can't even add that because of this last ladder. We'll get rid of that and do something like that. And then we'll just bring that all the way across. So you've got a little bit of a area where you can pound your wheat into whatever this is, grain. Let's go ahead and light this place up a little bit more because it is still really dark. And originally I was thinking that we could put another pulley right down here. But you know, I think we'll be okay with... Oh, it just looks so good. I have to do it. I have to do it. Let's see. I think it goes right about here. Let's see, is that correct? Yes? Oh no, we got a full block there. Okay, let's come back around to here. And we'll do... Oh, wrong thing selected. We'll do that and then add the chain. And we'll do that. Then grabbing our barrel. We'll go ahead and... Let's see, one more down. Just need some support in order to place this barrel down. Oh no, we can't place it on that. Okay, like that should work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now this is right next to the ladder, but having those different heights I think looks pretty cool. Or maybe we'll do one more up. Uh-oh. I didn't think this through. Okay. So we'll bring that up one more, like so. And now you should be able to just, yeah, go right down here. And for that one, since it's not really a pulley system, we will go ahead and add a lever. That way it looks like you can just go ahead and lower it right down. Okay. Now, this build is pretty much done, but I think to go ahead and top it off, we will go ahead and, I don't know why there were stairs there. We will go ahead and add, let's do a torch right up here. Oh, we can't because of that. Okay. Let me find the slab. Did I say torch? I definitely meant lantern. We'll add a lantern right about there. And then we'll go ahead and throw down just a few, what's it called? Hay bales, right? Yeah, hay bales. We'll stack a few of these in the corners since this is what we're throwing down here to turn into grain. And that way it kind of just looks like wheat that's still in the process of being milled. Okay, I think that is going to do it for this build. Let's clear the weather and turn it back to day. And folks, that is our watermill. Oh, one last thing I want to do here as we're closing out for the day. I'm going to go ahead and fix up this terrain so that it doesn't look so sudden of a drop. But if you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to see more builds like this and see how we continue to expand our How to Build Town, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any videos. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. And I will see you next time. Bye!